Hello and welcome to this special nationwide programme from Kilmainham Jail. Tonight we look at the life of a forgotten leader of the 1916 Rising, Michael Mallin, and meet his son, the last surviving child of a 1916 leader. After the Rising, 90 men and women were condemned to death. 14 men were killed here at this jail before a public outcry forced the British government to halt the executions. But for Michael Mallin, that reprieve came too late. He was one of the last of the leaders to be executed here by firing squad.
The horror of what happened to him, I think, is compounded by the fact that he didn't want that. Unlike Pearse, who almost exulted in his martyrdom, Michael Mallin didn't want to be a martyr.
His family too would pay a heavy price. They lost a husband and a father.
He came in and told them, "I'm being shot tomorrow morning at dawn," which must have been dreadful for the family, as you can imagine. And my father just couldn't believe it because he said, "I'm never going to see my father again."
And they were left destitute.
My father was so in agony about this family would leave in poverty.
At Mallin's trial, the unexpected happened. He became the only leader to deny his central role in the Rising. Yet his patriotism before his execution remained resolute.
My dear mother and father, forgive your poor son who is about to meet his death. I am to be shot tomorrow at 4:45. I tried with others to make Ireland a free nation and failed. Others failed before us and paid the price, and so must we. God bless you, your loving son, Michael Mallin. Stephen's Green Command. God save Ireland.
Although 16 men were executed, only the names of Pearse and Connolly have remained truly iconic. Others like Eamon Cant, Edward Daly and Michael O'Hanrahan also paid with their lives. But their names have faded into history. Some historians say this is because the story of the 1916 Rising had to be reshaped and retold to be more accessible.
It's very hard to tell the story of 16 people, giving them each the same sort of attention to gain the attention of the public, I think. So the 16 leaders of 1916, that soon became the 7 signatories. And as time went on, as we got further and further away from that generation who were alive then and had actual memory of the people, it became in a sense necessary to choose 2 symbolic figures. And they became preeminent. And those figures were Pearse, who was the nationalist, romantic, poet figure, the idealist, the cultural nationalist, and then Connolly, of course, who was the revolutionary, radical socialist who married to socialism with radical republicanism.
Behind the shadows of Connolly and Pearse, there's a forgotten cohort of the 1916 Rising, and included in that is Michael Mallin. These are the figures who saw their sacrifices equal in May of 1916 when they faced the firing squad, but their families saw their roles gradually not being airbrushed out of history, but just fading to the background